Within you lies a man who is asleep, waiting for the moment to awaken. That moment is now. You feel it, don't you? Something inside you burns a force that cannot be completely ignored. It's the flame of the true man within you, a power that's waiting, eager for the right moment to awaken. Life has challenged you, it has tested you. Perhaps it has knocked you down more times than you can count. And at some point, you started to believe that this was all life had to offer. But let me tell you something that perhaps no one has dared to say before. This is not all. The true man within you has not yet been defeated. He may be asleep, but he is alive. And today is the day you decide. Will you continue letting doubts and excuses keep you chained, or will you let him rise? Life is not kind. It places responsibilities on your shoulders before you're ready. It knocks you down when you least expect it. It brings pain, failure, and uncertainty. And do you know what many people do? They settle, they accept the narrative that they aren't strong enough, good enough, or brave enough. But here's what separates ordinary men from true men. True men don't give up. They don't let circumstances define who they are. They use every fall as an opportunity to rise stronger. Are you one of them? Are you ready to prove it? Within you lies a leader, a warrior, a visionary. But he will only emerge when you decide to set him free. Today, the choice is yours. Will you rise, or will you keep waiting? Remember. A true man is not one who never falls, but one who gets up every single time. A true man is not measured by the size of his muscles or the intensity of his voice. He is not defined by a facade of invulnerability or the number of material achievements he possesses. A true man is one who, in the face of adversity, remains standing. Or, if he falls, finds the strength to get up once, twice, as many times as necessary. He knows that life is not a straight line. He understands that falling is part of the journey, but staying down is a choice he refuses to make. Because within him lies a determination that pushes him forward, even when everything seems against him. Being a man is not about never feeling fear, but about having the courage to face it. It's not about being perfect, but about having the integrity to correct what is wrong and the determination not to give up. A true man doesn't run from the battles life places before him. He faces them head-on, even when he knows the road will be tough. He doesn't choose what is easy, he chooses what is right. And in the midst of difficulties, he finds strength not because he doesn't feel the weight, but because he understands that carrying responsibilities is part of what it means to be a leader. He doesn't hide behind excuses or blame others for his failures. He owns his choices, his mistakes, and his victories. Because a true man knows there is no honor in running away, but there is greatness in fighting, even when the odds are against him. A true man leads not for ego or power. He leads because he understands that his life is not just about him. He is an example for those around him, a pillar of support for those who need strength, and an inspiration for those searching for a path. He leads with purpose, knowing that his journey impacts the lives of many others. He builds with integrity, even when no one is watching. Because he knows that being a man isn't just about what others see, it's about who he is when he's alone with himself. Courage is not the absence of fear. A true man feels fear, yes, but he doesn't let it paralyze him. He looks at his fears and says, "You can be here, but you will not stop me from moving forward." He understands that courage lies in taking the first step, even when he doesn't know what the second step will look like. He accepts that uncertainties will exist but trusts in his ability to learn, grow, and adapt. Today is the day to look inward and say, "I am the true man." Not because I'm perfect, but because I'm strong enough to keep going. The greatest enemy you'll face lies within you, but it's also where your greatest strength comes from. The hardest battle isn't against the outside world. It isn't against adverse circumstances, others' opinions, or the challenges that arise along the way. The hardest battle is the one you fight within yourself. Inside you, there are two voices. One is critical, insecure, and full of doubt. It says you're not good enough, that it's too late, that maybe it's better to give up. But there's another voice. It's quieter, harder to hear, but it's there. It's the voice of your strength, your courage, your resilience. That voice whispers, "Keep going. You are stronger than you think. You can win." This internal battle happens every day. And with every choice you make, you feed one of these voices. The question is, which one will you let win? We all make mistakes. We all fall. But the difference between those who move forward and those who stay stuck isn't the absence of failure, it's the ability to learn from it. Recognize your failures, but never define yourself by them. Your mistakes are not who you are. They are simply markers along the way, indicators of where you've been, not where you're going. Look at each failure and ask yourself, what can I learn from this? How can I use this to become stronger? Remember, failing is human, but giving up because of failure is a choice. You have the power to choose what to do with your failures. You can let them define you, or you can use them as fuel to move forward. Every defeat carries a lesson, but it takes courage to see it. Often, it's easier to run, blame others, or hide behind excuses. But true growth comes when you face defeat head-on and ask, what is this teaching me? Whether it's a relationship that didn't work out, a missed opportunity, or a wrong decision, every experience is a chance to grow. True strength isn't about never failing, but about using every failure as a stepping stone to something greater. Think about it. Every major achievement in history came from someone who failed but decided to try again. Defeat isn't the end, it's the beginning of something new. The greatest enemy you'll face lies within you, but it's also where your greatest strength comes from. This phrase holds a powerful truth. Often, we place the blame on external factors, on the people around us, or on difficult circumstances. But deep down, we know that the greatest barrier is within us. It's the fear that paralyzes us, the doubt that limits us, the self-criticism that makes us believe we're not good enough. But here's the good news. Just as the enemy is within you, so is the strength to defeat it. That strength lies in your choices, in your determination, and in your ability to keep trying, even when everything seems lost. The internal battle is relentless, but every victory, no matter how small, strengthens you. Recognize your failures, but don't carry them as a burden. Transform your defeats into lessons that propel you forward. Within you lies the greatest enemy, but also the greatest ally. The choice of whom you'll listen to is yours. Today, decide that you are more than your failures, more than your doubts. Today, choose to win the internal battle and prove to yourself that you are capable of anything. Responsibility. A word that carries weight but also power. Being responsible means recognizing that control over your life lies in your hands. It means understanding that your actions, your choices, and even your inactions have consequences for you, for those around you, and for the world you're helping to shape. A true man doesn't run from this. He understands that life isn't made only of moments of glory but also of commitments, challenges, and sacrifices. He knows that taking responsibility isn't a burden, it's a privilege. Because within that posture lies the strength to transform realities. Taking responsibility means facing your own fears and doubts. It means creating discipline, even when every part of you wants to quit. It means committing to your goals, even when the path seems uncertain. It means stopping the wait for things to happen and starting to make them happen. It's looking in the mirror and saying, I am responsible for what's around me. This responsibility isn't a prison, it's liberation. Because when you take control, you also take on the power to change what needs to be changed. You are the example the world around you needs. Be the man who transforms the environment wherever he stands. Your family, your friends, your colleagues, they're all watching. This doesn't mean you should strive for perfection, but it does mean you have the power to be a positive influence. Every choice you make, every action you take, is shaping the environment around you. Be the person who inspires confidence, who conveys security, who lifts others up during tough times. Be the one who leads by example, not with empty words. You don't need a title to be a leader. Your leadership lies in the small actions, in the way you face problems, in the courage you show in the face of difficulties, in the respect you offer to those you encounter. Avoiding responsibilities is easy. It's simpler to blame circumstances, others, or fate, but that's an illusion. Every time you run away, you're leaving behind the opportunity to grow, to mature, to become a better version of yourself. A true man understands that his life and the impact it has is built on the responsibilities he chooses to take on. He doesn't flee. He confronts. This means being there for your family, even when you're tired. It means seeking solutions instead of hiding behind problems. It means doing what's right, even when no one is watching. A true man transforms. He looks at the world around him and asks, what can I do to improve this? He knows that every small gesture matters, that every action counts. If you're in a place of negativity, be the light. If surrounded by doubt, be the confidence. If chaos reigns, be the balance. Transform the environment you're in, not with words but with actions. Taking on responsibilities isn't about carrying the weight of the world on your shoulders, it's about recognizing the power you have to shape your life and impact others. Every time you choose to face your responsibilities head-on, you're building a legacy, a story that inspires. A true man doesn't run from his responsibilities, he faces them head-on. Be the example the world around you needs. Not because it's easy, but because it's necessary. The world doesn't need more excuses, it needs men who lead with strength, integrity, and purpose. And today, you can be one of them. The world is full of people waiting for change, but few have the courage to be the change. A true man is one who acts. Look around you. How many times have you heard people complaining about how things are wrong? About how the world is full of injustices, problems, and challenges that seem impossible to overcome. Everyone sees the chaos, but few have the courage to stand up and say, I'm going to do something about it. The world needs people like you. People who not only point out problems but take responsibility for transforming them. A true man doesn't wait for the world to change for him, he is the force that initiates the change. Change isn't easy. It takes courage. It takes effort. It requires stepping out of your comfort zone and exposing yourself, knowing that criticism will come, that the path will be uncertain, and that results may take time to appear. But you know what? The world has never been changed by those who stood still, watching from the sidelines. It was transformed by those who acted, who took responsibility for making a difference, even when everything seemed impossible. Think about the leaders, visionaries, and people you admire. They are no different from you. What sets them apart is a choice. The choice to act, to try, to lead by example. You have within you everything you need to lead, inspire, and build something greater than yourself. Within you lies a strength you may not yet fully recognize. It's the strength of a leader, a builder, someone capable of inspiring those around them. That strength doesn't depend on where you've come from, what you own, or what you've already achieved. It depends on what you choose to do from this moment on. You don't need permission to start. You don't need all the answers. All you need is to take the first step. A small act of courage can create ripples that transform lives, including your own. The true man doesn't live solely for himself. He understands that his existence is part of something greater. He sees the challenges around him as opportunities to lead, to guide, and to build a legacy that inspires others. No matter where you are, there's always something you can do. Maybe it's supporting someone going through a tough time. Maybe it's speaking up against an injustice. Or maybe it's simply deciding, today, that you'll stop waiting and start acting. The world needs men who understand that their actions matter, that their choices have an impact, that the simple act of believing and acting can ignite a flame in others. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, what will my impact be? What will I leave behind when my journey here ends? If your answer isn't clear yet, that's okay. But know this, you were made for something greater. What you choose to build, inspire, and lead now can be the start of something that goes far beyond yourself. Today, the world is calling for you, not to be perfect, but to be courageous. Not to have all the answers, but to take the first step. Not to choose the easiest path, but to walk the one that makes a difference. You have everything you need within you. Stand up, inspire, build, and show the world that you are the change it's been waiting for. No more hesitating. No more hiding. The world doesn't need more excuses, it needs the true man inside you. Everything that has been said so far points to this moment. The decision is before you, to continue living as you have, hiding your potential, or to finally let the true man inside you rise. No more waiting for the perfect moment, because it will never come. No more seeking justifications to delay your steps. The world doesn't need excuses, it needs action. It needs you. How many times have you let fear paralyze you? How many times has doubt spoken louder than your will to act? But now, something has changed. Now you know that within you is a warrior, a leader, a visionary, someone who was born to make a difference. Someone who can transform the environment they live in, the lives of those around them, and, above all, themselves. This strength within you doesn't need permission to emerge. It only needs a decision. It doesn't matter if you fell yesterday, made mistakes, or missed opportunities. What matters is what you choose to do now. You carry within you everything necessary to rise and face the world head-on. You don't need to be perfect, you just need to be courageous. Courage to start, even if the path is uncertain. Courage to take on responsibility, even if it feels heavy. Courage to lead, even if the world around you seems to be falling apart. Today, let the true man rise. Let the leader, the warrior, the visionary step out of the shadows. Imagine the impact you can make when you stop hesitating and start acting. Imagine the people who will be inspired by your strength, your example, and your determination to be the change. You don't need a title to lead, nor a special occasion to begin. What you need is to decide that the time is now. Pause for a moment and listen. That calling you feel isn't a coincidence. It's life telling you that you are capable of so much more than you believe. It's the world calling on you to show your strength, your vision, your courage. This is the moment, not tomorrow, not when conditions are better, not when the fear disappears. It's now. No more hesitating, no more hiding. The man you've always wanted to be strong, courageous, and full of integrity is already within you. All he needs is for you to set him free. The world is waiting, and you are ready. Rise now and show that you are the leader, the warrior, the visionary you were born to be. Because the world needs you and you won't let it down.